Hello and welcome to The Success Rate. I'm Thuli Magubane. The Success Rate is where we get to know one individual, their journey to success, find out what they had to do to get to where they are. And our byline says there's no such thing as an overnight success. So sometimes you hear about someone and they've been hustling for decades before they get their big break. So joining us today is Moshe. Everyone knows him as Mo T from MiCasa. And I guess the band wouldn't be what it is without you.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. And we actually said the other day that, if any member leaves the band, then
Yes.
there is no MiCasa,
Yeah.
So that just means that every single member is just as important, and with the sound that they contribute, So
Yeah.
it's so true what you're saying. And like you just remove one guy and then
It's
there is
not
no
the
MiCasa.
same.
Yeah.
So just to start us off, if you had to bring back one fashion trend from the past, what would it be and why?
One fashion trend.
Yeah.
Yo.
You've been around the block.
Yes. Sure. What would it be?
Yeah.
I was always getting mocked and by my wife for always wearing those corduroys and like retro type of corduroy type of trouser.
Yeah.
But like mostly I'd actually bring back just mostly the floor shim, but maybe having it as a modernized like design,
Yes.
because that's the one shoe that my late dad also used to wear a lot.
Yeah.
And mostly because of him being a musician and being on stage. And
Yes.
so he's inspired me also with my shoe game. It's just that today I had to be
Comfortable.
very comfortable.
So what's your
because
favorite pair of shoes in your collection?
favorite pair of shoes? I've got my Dr. Martens.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
But don't you think they should, you still wear them? They're no longer in
yes.
fashion.
Mine are very unique.
Yeah.
So
maybe
like,
that would be
I'm
the trend
always-
you bring back.
yes, I'm
Dr.
always
Martens.
definitely, because I'm always like if I wear them, no one else is wearing them in the room.
Yeah.
Like the design that I've got.
Dr. Martens came up, I think, when we were still growing up, when we were
Yes,
teenagers.
Yes.
And you
yes.
got them from there and you just stuck with them.
Yeah, like that feeling of actually just getting them and then you lose them and then you want to get them again.
Yes.
and then you find like that special pair now and be like, okay, now that's my pair and I'm gonna keep it now. So I've still got
Yes,
them.
Yeah. And today happens to be your late dad's birthday.
Yes.
And
yes.
so a day like this, what is it like for you? Do you take time to reflect about your relationship with him, the legacy,
Definitely.
lessons?
Yes, definitely, because I'm also sitting here because of my dad's like lessons, because of my dad being present within my life.
Yeah.
And him having the patience of actually just seeing and imagining what his son could be, and today I play the trumpet just like him.
Yeah.
Well, not just like him, but I mean, I'm still trying to catch up to his standards, so, and may his
You're
soul rest in
modest.
peace,
Being modest.
No, I promise
Yeah,
you,
yeah.
like, there's still songs and old songs, and that's the beauty of music, that whatever he has played, I still rehearse to the sound that he left us with,
Yes, yeah.
and because he used to be in the band Manga Groove, so that's the band that inspired me to actually start music, so like, speaking of my dad and how this makes me feel today, and also being that it's his birthday, this is special because
Yes.
it's just to reflect on all these special moments that we've had together, and like also just coming this far, but the greatest lesson from him was just saying to me, practice,
Yeah.
be patient, and don't do drugs.
Oh, and don't do drugs.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I like that.
That was his way of actually saying to me, there's no shortcuts.
Yeah.
To actually going up the ladder with what we're doing, and like I'll forever treasure those words.
And you've heard this saying, especially like eKasi, you hear this thing, ukuthi umfundisi akazali umfundisi.
Yes.
So was it difficult for you to convince your dad that you also want to follow in his footsteps as a musician?
Actually not. And this is where I would bring my mom in now.
Yeah.
Because so let me take you back to how I fell in love with the instrument. And people always be like, but you were 2 years old. What did you know? And how did you know this? And you're just 2 years old. But this happened at my grandpa's funeral. And my dad was strong enough to actually play the trumpet there, and I was only 2 years old, and I just kept on like pulling his trouser, and that's the time when he was trying to play, of course, you know, and they're trying to move me away and saying, no, get him his own trumpet. And then they actually came with a cornet.
Wow.
And I wanted my dad's trumpet all the time. And that time when they came with the cornet, I said to them, no, guys, this is a toy. Like, I want that.
I want the real thing.
Because a cornet is like slightly shorter.
Yes.
Or by length, or compared to a trumpet, you know. And I still have that cornet, by the way.
Really?
I broke it into 2 pieces. And that's when my dad saw that, okay, this guy is he's really angry at what he's been given because he wants mine. So that's where my dad saw the whole future of me becoming the musician, you know. And then my mom was like always a person saying, no, don't touch your dad's trumpet. You're going to break it. If you break this, he can't go to work. And those are the days when my dad was really busy during the Mango Groove days, you know, and traveling throughout Africa, throughout Europe, throughout the USA. And my mom would always panic and be like, yo, please don't touch that. Like, don't touch that because, you know.
So how old were you when he allowed you to eventually touch it?
I was... What, about 8 years old?
Okay.
Yes. And then from the ages 10, then he started sitting down with me properly and then just like showing me the basics. But one thing that he really taught me was simplicity. And he just always taught me to be myself, you know, in terms of my sound, my signature sound. And you'd ask me that, you know, what is that sound? What is it, that essence, you know? But it's, you know, you listen to any MiCasa song, but even out of MiCasa, there's some collabs that I've got. You know, there's a song called Horns in the Sun. Yeah. And people know different parts of it. So some people know some people know yaba 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 yeah. You know?
Yeah.
And just creating that song, you know, just reminded me so much of my dad because that's the trumpet telling a beautiful story there. You know, that song, what I would always say that sometimes performing that track, I actually feel like stopping and asking the crowd, how does the song make you feel? Because
maybe you
know,
should one day.
You know, it just brings so much joy to people. Like every time I perform that track,
you see people going crazy.
Like I never see anybody looking bored in the crowd, and it's just people being so excited. You know, so that goes way back. You know, that's not something that you just gained like within the last minute of your career, thinking that you know, let's produce this song and this is how like the song should sound. It's work that's been put in like long, like way back, you know. And me saying this is that a song like that was actually prepared like 3-4 years ago, but like you look at the song today, people are still vibing to it, you know. And yeah, like I'm so proud of the journey, so proud of what my dad has installed. Yeah. And the greatest thing with him is that, you know, all the lessons, you know, they are so like they've stuck with me, you know. They've stuck with me to a point where I'm just like feeling like my dad is still here with me.
Still around,
you know, yes, you know. So yeah.
So taking you just back to your childhood, growing up in Alexander, I mean, there's another famous trumpeter who also grew up in Alexander, Brahu Masikela.
Yes.
So when you were growing up, did you hear stories about Brahu? What did you hear about him? And did that also influence you in terms of saying, definitely this is the path I want to follow?
Yeah. So Brahu, we actually got you know, some special moments together also, just like closer to my dad's passing. He was like also very supportive towards me and the family, and we'd meet up for breakfast, we'd meet up for you know, like our own sessions where we just catch up, and you know, that's where the one thing that he used to say is that, yo, we all on our way out. True, you know, but we have to enjoy this moment, you know. And he was a very good person, and also like someone that had his own sound. You could also hear that this is like Brahu, like from the first note you could hear that, yo, this is Brahu. But I mean, Yeah, may his soul rest in peace also. But I mean, he's someone that also had like some type of influence
Yes.
that
Yeah.
has added to like my career also. And yeah, like, you know, he's very clued up with our history also.
Yeah.
He fought for so many things, or like for so many musicians also, you know. So there's so many stories about him that people like, you know.
Can I put you on the spot?
Yes.
What's your favorite Bra Hughes song?
Grazing in the Grass.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think same here.
Yeah. We actually paid tribute to him yesterday at the Joy of Jazz.
Yes.
And yeah, that's the song that I would pick.
All right. And you mentioned earlier that your dad gave you all this advice, and the last thing was don't do drugs.
Yes.
And when you think about Bra Hughes' life, I don't know if you read his biography, Grazing in the Grass.
Yes.
He talks about just drug abuse and how close he came to ODing in some instances. And I remember there was a part, I think he mentioned he slept for 3 days because, you know, he'll take uppers and downers because he'd be so high. He had to take some sleeping pills or downers or whatever so that he could sleep.
Sure.
And he slept for 3 days. And yeah, anyway, did he ever say anything to you about drugs?
He was very open.
Yeah.
And that's why I said, like, you know, he had stories for days, and we could actually be here all day just talking about, you know, the crazy stories, you know. But yeah, and that's what I actually liked about him, that he was never scared to share, you know.
Honest, yeah.
And mostly with his personal experiences, you know. But regardless on how you would take it, but he would leave you with the story, you know. But he would leave with the story, but also not push you towards where he has been, but it would kind of come as a warning to you. And, you know, like for me, if someone tells me that they slept for 3 days, then for me that's scary, you know.
It is scary.
Like,
he woke up 3 days. He woke up, and then he thought, no man, they're playing a prank on him, and realized I slept for 3 days.
Yes, you know,
it is scary. Whew.
Yeah, definitely. But the one thing about him, and you know, or that's always been, has that he's just always been honest about, you know, his personal journey. And it's always just like with Bra Hughes, there was always a story. Like he always had a story, you know.
And so coming to our subject at hand, the success rate, what's your definition of success?
My definition of success is you doing what you love, and when no one has to force you, you know, but also just you to install that with so much practice, practice and patience, you know. And I would say those are my 2 top words, you know, practice and patience. Then adding it with love also, because you've got to love it, you know, and that's what sets the whole motivation of it, like you to love something, because when you see something grow, you want to do it over and over, you know. At the minute that I could see that I could play the trumpet, I actually wanted to learn more. And I'm still learning today, even, you know, like you never ever get to the end of it, because, you know, times change, and, you know, like as you said with fashion, like, you know, it's evolved in so many ways, and that what would we want to bring back.
True.
It's the same thing with music, you know. So it's also just us digging into history, which adds to us having more wisdom, that adds to success.
Yes. And so MiCasa was definitely your biggest break. So before MiCasa, I mean, maybe give us a flavor of some of the stuff that you did before MiCasa, because people think you only started with MiCasa.
Yes. So I'll take it back to my days in the Alexandra Brass Band, and that was a beautiful band that my dad formed just after Mango Groove.
Yes.
And it was a gospel band where we recorded about 9 albums together. And I was only about 15 years old, 14, 15, somewhere there. And so I was this kid that was always next to dad, and, you know, just playing trumpet, learning from dad, you know. And then after that, and then got to be within the clap scene with the likes of DJ Fresh.
Yes, yeah.
And Euphonic when they were doing the FU series. And I worked with DJ Clock. I worked with most DJs back in the day, before MiCasa started. and yeah, and then MiCasa obviously started like around about 2011, and yeah, that's when life changed.
Yes, yeah. We want to talk about
for the better,
that.
you know.
I like that it changed for the better. So
Yes.
obviously, you were always exposed to the music industry through your dad, and obviously,
Yes.
you've seen what had happened in the industry.
Yes.
And I guess maybe people knew you as the kid, but didn't really know you. And then suddenly now there's MiCasa, and then suddenly your face is recognizable. How did you deal with that? I mean, there has to be, I'm assuming, some kind of mindset shift
Yes.
that happened within you to be able to adapt to this newfound fame and to remain yourself, so to say, yeah.
Sure. You know, I always say that we're nothing without people, firstly, you know. So for people to actually come closer to you and actually start recognizing the beautiful thing that you're doing, and through your band, you know, like that's amazing, that's beautiful, you know. But yeah, going up the ladder and during the days of the brass band, during the days of playing with the DJs, you know, I actually wasn't really even looking at it that, hey, I'm trying to be famous here,
Yes,
you know,
yeah.
because it goes back to what I mentioned, which is you having so much love for your instrument, and you actually just gaining that pleasure or of seeing people just being super excited or overexcited over what you're doing, you know. And I always say that, you know, just do your best and the rest will follow, you know. So the fame and everything, that's just a cherry on top.
Yeah.
And it's also scary at the same time, because you always have to be like looking at yourself and being like, oh, how am I dressed today? And like, will I be judged? And, you know, or what did I say to someone today? Or was I rude when I was in the parking lot? You know, so, you know, there's so much that actually just comes with it. And it's this big responsibility actually that you've just added within your life. But like once you're in, you know, and like it is beautiful. It's got so many beautiful sides to it, but it also just needs to be looked after. You can't just get famous and then thinking that, oh, that's it. You
Well,
need to
so to
maintain,
some people, fame is
you know?
is the ultimate.
Yes,
They feel
yes.
they have arrived. So you mentioned that you practice a lot.
Yes.
How many hours would you estimate you have spent in rehearsals?
Since day one.
Yeah, since you started picking up the instrument, because people think, you know, it's an overnight success, and it's not.
You know, it's like trying to measure the love you have for your daughter, and you know, say how much do you love them, or can you count? And you can't, because it's just like, it's like something that you can't explain, because you're so used to doing it like daily, but you're doing it because it's really just something that you're not forced, you know, and because it really comes from you, and you just keep gaining so much love over it, you know. So that's what I'm saying. That's a very difficult one to want to have that number to be saying, okay, it's been for 1,000 hours.
No, but they always talk about,
you know,
even pilots.
yes,
You know, pilots.
Yes.
You measure pilots' expertise and skill
Yes.
by the number of hours, flying hours.
Yes.
And there's also the theory about 10,000 hours.
Oh yes,
That you need 10,000
yes.
hours in something before you know, really
Yes.
can consider yourself an expert.
So I've definitely passed those hours also.
You're sitting at 100,000 maybe.
You know, definitely passed those, and
Yeah.
actually just added more even, and still
Yes.
adding, because it's so addictive, you know. And like I always say that I can't imagine doing anything else, even though there's other opportunities that could come and stuff, but it's always been that the trumpet is my life, and that's why there's something that I'm actually just busy with now called Live Through the Horn. And Live Through the Horn is basically me living through that horn.
True,
You know, the horn has been there for me for so many years, and I've built a whole life
around it.
using that horn, you know. And that doesn't start with me. That goes down to my dad. That goes down to my grandpa, you know. So I'm the third generation of it all, you know. So it goes deeper. It really goes deeper. And
talking about going deep, I mean,
Yes.
in life there's always exchanges. You have to kind of forgo something else to be able to do something
Yes.
else. So what has been the biggest sacrifice in your life that you had to make to achieve success?
Sure. The biggest
Sacrifice,
the
yeah.
biggest sacrifice.
Mm.
The biggest sacrifice has like really, for me, it's being away from your loved ones, so that you can also just like be out there to actually just find your groove of where you actually like going, you know, and just leaving your loved ones for, you know, like being on the road for 2 weeks, for 3 weeks, for your, you know, it's a repetitive thing, you know, but it's also sometimes of like, I'm really missing my son, or I'm really missing my wife, or I'm really like missing my daughters, you know, and but it's also like, yo, but I also have to keep this going, so that I also don't let myself down at the same time, because that feeds my soul, that feeds, like, that makes me happy also, you know, but just the way that it all comes in, there has to be those sacrifices, you know, and that's why I treasure every moment, even this moment right here.
Yes,
You know, like it's a moment that I treasure, because we get to tell our stories, we get to obviously express ourselves, you know, within the best ways that we
so
can.
I'm going to have a little bit of fun with you. We have a feature called the Fire Five.
Okay.
Which is quick questions. So don't spend too much time thinking about it.
Okay.
All right. You ready?
Yes.
Okay. So you play the trumpet, and I guess it is a jazz instrument, and for a house band.
Yes.
So are you more of a jazz or a house kind of person? So when you're chilling on your own, what do you listen to?
Jazz.
Jazz. Okay, cool. And then next one, what's your favorite board game?
Board game would be chess.
Chess. Okay, all right. Did your dad teach you to play chess?
No.
Is there anything that you can't do that you wish you could do?
Anything. I actually wish that I could play the piano also, you know. And the crazy part is that all the notes have been given to you there. But it's something that's a little bit harder to me. And then the trumpet looks harder because you're only given 3 buttons or 3 valves. And that's,
and you have to create,
you know,
magic with
yes,
that,
you know. Yeah, so would really say the piano. So maybe that's my next instrument too.
Piano.
You know, yeah.
I know you're very busy, probably don't get much time to watch movies, but what was the last movie that made you cry?
Made me cry. It was Titanic.
Really? How long ago was that?
That shows you that I hardly watch TV. You know, I'm always in the studio. I'm always making music. Yeah.
All right. And today you're in black. Is this your color of choice, or what's your most frequent one color?
You're actually right that black is my most frequent.
Is it?
But just different
Why?
styles of it.
Yeah.
Just different styles of it, you know.
Why black?
There actually is no specific reason to this, but I mean, like, for me, it's just been the designs of it all, and it just so happens that when I do my shopping, there's mostly cool designs, but they're in black. So I'm just like, oh, cool, let me grab that, you know.
And what color you wouldn't wear? What color wouldn't you wear?
What color? You know, I'm not so fussy on color or with color, but I wouldn't wear something that's turquoise.
Why turquoise?
No, just like a full-on outfit that's turquoise.
Yeah.
No,
Imagine a suit.
Yeah, no. Exactly that.
Like,
know?
I mean, think of Steve Harvey. Steve Harvey rocks any color. Give him the color, he's rocking.
No, but that's why I said, like, I'm also not fussy.
Yeah.
But would probably be that turquoise is my least.
Your least favorite color.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hi, I'm Thuli Magubane, the host of The Success Rate. In a world full of negative stories and bad news, we at The Success Rate are sharing good news and success stories. So if you like what you've been hearing, make sure that you subscribe, like, and don't forget to share with your friends and family. And so it seems like you're also branching out into different avenues as a musician and an individual as well. I saw there's a a gig coming up at Marabi Club.
Oh,
and
yes.
And you're doing something with Secret Eats as well.
Yes.
So did Jay influence you with the cooking and the cuisine, getting into that and mixing it up with music?
You know, yeah, it's a bit of both, you know, but like I also love food myself, of course. It's just that what I've never expressed the full side of the types of food that I like and all, but like, you know, we got so much to look back to, even coming from the Heritage Month, looking at our own food as like where we've come from, you know, but it's also just with the travels, you know, the being inspired by traveling and going country to country and just seeing what people eat, you know, and coming back and being like, wow, we actually so well blessed with what with the variety or the choices that we have here, you know. So it's also nice to share that, merging it with your sounds, with your music, you know. Like the other time I was having this beautiful conversation with Katlego, the chef, and he said to me, wow, man, you know, can't wait for us to actually do work together. Because
do you cook?
Because not really.
So you just cook here?
Yeah, I'm a very light cooker. So I can make you 2-minute noodles. I can make you some eggs. I can, you know, but like not the hectic stuff of like lamb and all. And then, you know, then we need to wait for 18 hours. And it's like, you know, it's really.
So you just leave Jay to that.
yes. But one day. Yes. But, you know, just getting back also to what Katlego was saying was that he was saying, yo, music and food are the best things to actually come together because especially for people saying that they're depressed, for example, and what do? They go looking for good food, right? Yeah, but, you know, and then what you do also when you feel in the same way, you go look for your best music, you know. So combining the two is the best combo that you could ever do for.
So are we going to see more of these type of collaborations going forward?
Yes, hopefully, yes. Yes, because it's really stuff that's really like drive of passion.
Yes,
that
the
just
two
comes
passions,
out. And you know, it's such a blessing also when you get to do these type of sessions because we're so busy with the travels, with being on stage, with, you know, but sometimes it's actually just saying, yo, we're gonna have a bit of downtime and let's actually just have this time to chill together and have a catch up over food and like music.
Sounds great. Do you have any regrets in life?
Regrets in life? No, not really. Not really. Like I'm a very free-spirited person. You know, 90% of the time I'm always happy. I love joking around. And I really just do my best to stay away from negativity or negative people, should I say, you know. And it's hard when you say negative people because
there are people who are energy drainers as well.
Yes, you know, so, but, you know, I'm always the guy to give you that first chance to be like, okay, let's see. But second and third chance, I'm like, no, now you've really shown me the type of person that you are. So, you know, like for me, there's not really any regrets. You know, I'm so happy about where my life is right now. From the struggles to the success, it's really just been the biggest blessing for me, you know.
Okay. And people tend to equate success with money.
Yes.
What's your relationship with money?
My relationship with money is that money is an energy and money comes and goes and you can't hold on to it. So and me saying that you can't hold on to it is that you need to let that energy of money grow within different avenues.
Yes.
So the minute that you hold on to it, you actually also you being your own blockage to growth. So I always regard money as an energy, and that, you know, we should never ever think of it so much when we're starting something, but really think of the project that you're doing more than thinking of the money
that you're going to make from it.
Yes, you know, so, and that will always take me back to me sitting down and practicing my trumpet, for example. I never sat there saying that I'm doing it for the money. I sat there saying that I'm doing this because this makes my soul happy, and this is something that I would love for the world to hear one day. But before this sound goes to the world, I am my first audience. And if it makes me happy, and then, you know, we pray that it makes the rest of
the world happy.
World happy, yes.
And then what has been the biggest lesson or aha moment that you've had when it comes to money?
The biggest lesson has been, being ignorant. Like sometimes, we got our business cards. We got, that card that you just swipe without even checking. But like not having the relationship with your money, or a close relationship. Because sometimes you're lying that, oh, my accountant is there, or, my financial team is there, they're taking care of things. But you personally have to keep track of where you're at with your money, so that if anything goes wrong, you also have the answers, and not actually feeling and looking surprised of things that you could have actually just taken care of. So for me, that's it.
And then lastly, advice that you'd give to young musicians getting into the industry, looking for their big break?
To the young musicians, I would say that, they must just be themselves, and they must really love, what they do, and be it that it's what being a musician, that you're an actress, that you're a dancer, or you're into fashion, but like you really need to love it, because you shouldn't do it because uncle said do this or do that, but it should really come from you, and to use their time wisely. Time is something that we can never ever recover. Someone said to me once that you could only turn 20 once, you can only turn 30 once.
That's true.
Or 40, so you can never go back. So you need to make sure that you use your time wisely and do the things that you need to do within those years, and make sure that you complete them, because the more that you delay, it just piles up. And that's how people sometimes fall into depression, because you just look back and say, we're trying with this project, we tried with that project, and look, now there's been 20 projects sitting and not even one has taken off, because sometimes you're chasing after the wrong things, and that actually takes me back to saying that, take care of your craft and look after your craft first before thinking about the money, so, and that is where you put your time in, and that's been my formula, so putting time into my instrument has really just given me the biggest reward up to date.
Sounds awesome. Thank you very much, Moti.
Is it over?
Yes. I know we could continue going on and on and on.
Yeah.
But it's been great having you, and
thank you for having me.
Getting a slice of your life, and who the man behind the trumpet is.
Yes, definitely. And it's good for the people to hear the man's voice also, because the trumpet's always just blocking it. But I mean,
and he's got that sexy very white voice, hey?
No, you're not the first to say that, because what I've been told that I've got this radio voice, and and I was like, what, so, and that's how I'm like, but I'm always scared of going back and listening to my interviews and stuff, because I'm like, but you're
not used to hearing your voice.
But thank you so much for the compliment, and thanks for having me once again.
Yes.
And all the best to you guys.
It's been a pleasure. If you've enjoyed the interview with Moti, make sure that you share it with your friends and family. So click on that share button and share it with others. And of course, don't forget to subscribe and hit the like button.